All right, guys, a very special podcast interview from the man, the myth, the legend, Patty. St. Patty, what's up?
Hello,
The
hello.
Analyzer. All right, Patty. So we've been doing this for a while. Started a couple months ago. The MMA Judge Analyzer stream. Saw you on Twitter. I think I even talked a little shit about judging. You were like, no, that's not what we're up to here. And then I started watching your stream, and I was like, holy shit, this is like dead on exactly what what the judging is at the end of the round was what I was seeing connected up. But I want to see your origin story. So how did you get into just judging in the first place, even before you came up with this?
Yeah, started judging maybe like officially 2 years ago-ish. Before that, obviously I got into jiu-jitsu around in 2007. Did many gyms because on my regular job, I fixed medical equipment, so I moved around the Phoenix area a lot. So I went to the lab. I went to a small gym, Vargas Jiu-Jitsu. They call it Proving Grounds now, and then I did the lab the lab, and then I did Fight Ready on the east side of town.
Okay.
So I've trained all over the Phoenix. I'd get hurt a lot, you know what I mean? Like I'd be off 6 months and then go back, get hurt, and then
That's what I'm always worried about, and I'm not even that old as I'm getting.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm fragile, but I mean I was old when I started, like 27 starting. Now it's considered old. Back then.
What year was that you started?
2007.
Okay, yeah. So you're like an OG in the game.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, like when I was doing jiu-jitsu tournaments, there was no like no-gi.
Yeah.
There wasn't any no-gi tournaments.
Yep.
So like I would go to a tournament and you would compete against guys you had no idea what belt level they were. I mean, you didn't know anything about them. Win at it and hope for the best. You know what I mean? That was back in the old days.
I wish I could bet on those fights. I always hear Joe Rogan talking about like I was like 83% betting on fights back in the day. He might have been though, because it might have been that unknown. He was like, he'd fight a fighter would come over from Brazil, and he'd be like, oh, this guy's amazing, bet the house. So we don't have that anymore. Now we need things like the Analyzer to figure that out. Okay, cool. So you had experience in MMA actually, and have you found that a benefit when you then went into
it's a benefit when you're judging? It's a benefit because like you learn combinations or you learn techniques that you can see coming while you're watching judging. So you know, I mean, when a guy moves this way or that way, you know what's coming next. A lot of times it's chain reactions, so it's not such a surprise. So if it's not a surprise, you can judge it. It seems like it doesn't happen as fast in your head when you know what's coming. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Like again, I know I've talked to you before. Like I know football like very well. That's what I grew up on. And so when I'm watching football, I'm seeing it differently. I'm seeing things before they happen. It seems like it's slower. So that completely makes sense. And I'm sure that's a big benefit. You know, I think that's one of the bigger gripes people have is when someone doesn't know and they're trying to judge or whatever. But that's infrequent most of the time.
But it is a factor now when you're especially now they have an expectation that you know the techniques. Like I went through, I'll talk about it later, but I went through Herb's class. And in Herb's class, he'll actually take you to a MMA gym and you perform techniques to make sure like you're familiar with them. So you have to pass that part of the background to get his certification, basically.
Yeah. So now and it's probably more like that now. So in the next 10 years, we'll see more guys who probably have trained before.
And it comes from the, you know what I mean, someone asking what is a Kimura, you know what I mean, and they're judging MMA fights. So I agree with it somewhat. I think it definitely helps, but as you can see with Tyler's never trained, and he's calibrated right to me. So I'm definitely seeing that judging itself is a skill. You know what I mean, that can be learned independent of other things, but I think it definitely helps. I told Tyler he should get in the gym at least to, you know what I mean, get strangled a couple times.
How did you go from okay, I'm starting to judge to I'm going to make a system where I can mathematically put a number like everyone just saw on the screen. You can put a number for every technique, for damage, for this. How'd you come up with that system, and how does that differentiate from how the judges do it now?
Well, as far as when I did it, like I did it before I was even officially judging.
Okay.
I took Herb's class maybe 3 months before I did my first like official amateur judging fight.
Yeah.
And when I was in that class, like I tell this story a couple times on other places, but when we were in class, Herb showed a fight that we were supposed to judge, and he puts it up on the screen, and I'm watching the fight. I'm like, man, this is close. You know what I mean? Like, is this what's going on here? Is he testing this, or am I not seeing something? Like, I'm starting to have doubts. No, I didn't know the right answer. Especially like I had a guy right next to me, a former gym owner, and you know, I mean, within 15 minutes, you knew half his MMA background. So
yeah,
that's like one of those guys.
Yeah,
he was sure of the answer. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, red all the way. He's talking during the round. I'm trying to watch, and I'm you know what I mean, trying to talk to him too. But
yeah,
he's like totally red, no problem. So I was like, all right, I'll just copy his answer. He seems sure enough, you know. And so the round gets done, and Herb's like, so what does everybody got? So this guy right away throws up his hand. He's one of those, all knows it all guys. So he throws up his hand and he gives his reasons and whatever. And while he's saying this, there's like a scoff from the back of the room, like, what are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Like, question him right away. And before he even explained his whole time, they almost like started debating, like, you know what I mean? You don't know, almost like questioning each other's expertise. And it got really competitive, like weirdly fast.
It became Twitter on a Saturday night.
Exactly. Yes.
Decision. Yeah.
All of a sudden it's combat, you know what I mean? Verbally in that situation. And then, so they go back and forth, and Herb asked the guy that obviously was arguing with him, well, what he thought. He had his answers too. And then we got done with it. And Herb just starts laughing and goes, that was a pick 'em round. I would have accepted any answers. So like when he said that, I was like, oh shit. Like we obviously see different things while we're judging, but there's no way to record. Cause I mean, both guys had good answers. You know what I mean? Yeah. If it's a pick 'em round, you know what I mean? Both guys going to have good answers for why they thought one way. It's just there's a measure of what a close round is and what a close round isn't. So in that moment, I was like, there should be something that we can use as judges that records the value that we're giving each one of the techniques. And that's when I started coming up with it. That I started working on it like 3 weeks after that. I started putting together the code and using AI. You know that I'm not like a coder guy. Like I figured out a lot of things using AI, and that's where it came from.
And so you basically did like you watched the fights, scored them, and then sort of compared to what the judges were doing, kind of like calibrated what they were scoring and what they were seeing.
When I first made it, I mean, it was it was just a left and right arrow that I would keep numerical score. When I first started doing it, I was horrible. Like I would give techniques numerical value and then stick to it. Like I had to come up with this system or whatever. So it was very robotic. But as I went back in time, I started doing past events and then seeing how the judges scored it, like the official judges. And then also, so a lot of the times you'll ask somebody how they saw fights or whatever, and they're never wrong. It's funny. And nobody ever thinks they're wrong. But obviously, if I'm trying to learn how to judge, I have to figure out when I've decided that I'm wrong. So the system that I used when I first started was I took the 3 official judges. They all had a vote. And then I took public opinion and I took media. And and then I went on MMA decisions. I don't know if you know are familiar with that. So they have all that. They have the 3 judges scores, the media score. So that's a group, but that's one vote. And then the public, which is like, sometimes 160, 170 guys, but that only counts as one vote. So it was the best of the 5. And that's how I started calibrating to what I would consider the correct answer.
That's amazing. Well, that's amazing thinking to what I'm seeing now, because I mean, I don't know what our percentage is right now. Is in the high 90s at one point, but even in this last one, you and Tyler are hitting it where it's like, it's almost every time. And
it's crazy how calibrated me and Tyler have become just in the last. He started using the analyzer probably in December of last year, but then only he only did it for rounds that we disagreed on.
Yeah.
And then he just started using it for every round or every event that he watched like 3 months ago.
Wow.
So in the last 3 months, like the calibration is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, what's interesting too, is not just you two calibrated, but the amount of times it's calibrated to the actual judges when they're not even calibrated. Like a lot of, like on any split decision, I mean, you're obviously getting a difference and you guys were on it. Yeah. And obviously I have found this value.
You found your niche. Yeah.
I found my niche.
Your value in what we're doing.
It's still hard though. It's still hard, but we have fun and we try to find it.
The times you make the most money is when we have a split round or a split likely round. That's when you start making your money, especially when the commentators start talking, because their opinion is whatever. That's when you start seeing the most value, and me and Tyler are just doing our thing and you're just taking advantage of it.
Yeah. And some guys in the chat too, we've seen some of them, who knows,
non-believers.
And that's the thing, we've gotten so many converters too. We've gotten so many non-believers who have joined our cult of analyzing.
The best is watching everyone crying on a controversial decision when we had it the whole time. Like it was clear. Like we've only been doing it 2 months, right? Something
I know. We put in a lot of events in this fourth quarter too. We've definitely pushed it, and we'll keep pushing it because they're gonna have some good ones coming up. I was wondering, okay, so what is the biggest misconception you think the public have with like just judging and scoring in general? I know what I had. But what is, like, from your experience, what do you think is like why they get it wrong so much?
Honestly, I think it's like the interpretation of the criteria. Like a lot of people don't even realize there is criteria.
That was me. I didn't know there was criteria. I thought it was just one guy's kicking ass, you know? That's what I saw.
And honestly, like there are some judges that are just like, I know what the criteria. I've been doing this 15 years. I don't care what the criteria. There's judges like that.
Yeah.
But me being a new guy, especially, I had to know that criteria. And also when I'm recording every thought, I have to have like reasoning, like I have to be able to refer to the criteria with every decision. Like, you know what I mean? Why am I given that credit if you know what I mean? I can't say like, Red had more control time over the striking because that doesn't even make sense according to the criteria. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you'll see commentators say stuff like, "Oh, you had a lot of control time that round. Like obviously he won." And like that's like I said, that's where you make all your money is the misinterpretation of the criteria that we're supposed to follow. The best thing about what we're doing is, I mean, judges obviously have an A and B situation or like a choice, but they can't say how close they were in the middle. What our stream does is show that gray area where, God, if it's a split likely, like if a judge has a different angle on one flurry or strike, he might, you know what I mean? That might be the 3 percentage points or whatever to flip him to the other, but they don't have the ability to show that. So that's, I think, what our stream helps show is like when there's a close round, how many times have we not shown it close? There's no issues. But then as soon as it split likely or split possible and one judge is off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We like predict what the judges are going to do because we're so calibrated to them at this point.
Yeah. And what's interesting too, is I think the best way to get to the truth of any of these would be 100 of these, analyzers going aggregated into one, giving a rolling average, because like you just said, if it just takes one judge sees it a little different, but maybe it's 2 judges on a close one and they both see it a little different, but 100 people out of 100, most are going to catch it, especially if they're like certified on the system. Obviously, if you throw me on there, I've tried it. It's incredibly difficult to judge a fight.
You'll get used to
it, especially when you don't really know what you don't know.
You're the voice talent. Don't worry about that. Let me and Tyler take care of that.
the way you guys talk about judging is the way I look at like the betting odds.
Right.
Ooh, a plus 200 right here, and then
Me and Tyler will nerd out on some judging.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I nerd out on anything to do with like probability and gambling. That's like my nerd. That's my nerd land. So, okay, good. Well, that is very interesting, and I do think, yeah, the main thing that this will be is for public to kind of see what's going on and understand that in close fights, it really could go either way. And so don't lose your mind.
And now, not only that, like you can make a mistake judging too. Like you'll hear commentators all the time be like, I didn't see that. Can I get a replay from the truck or whatever? Judges don't have that option. You know what I mean? Like it's one take and you don't hear commentating. You don't have a Hall of Famer next to you who saw it, what you didn't, you know what I mean? It's just you in that chair. And that is way more intimidating than people realize. When, you know, you got 10,000, 15,000 people behind you screaming and you're trying to focus on a fight. Like it's pretty wild.
Yeah. And you had mentioned that to me as well. You say it's actually easier to judge when you're watching a broadcast than on cage side. Is 100%. That right?
Yeah, of course. Okay. Yeah. And I mean, I've judged now using the analyzer for officially, like, as it stands right now, there's been 2 states that I've used the analyzer to judge officially. I've had every round recorded, and the biggest issue with me is when I first start out, I'm nervous. I'm always because every thought is recorded, so like you can't just say 10-9 blue. Your whole thought process is recording. So if you make a mistake, your boss is going to see it if he wants to. I haven't had a guy or a director even look at my video that I can show him, but it's nerve-wracking at first.
Well, I think eventually they'll have to look at the video and see how this whole thing works, because it's definitely the way of the future, in my opinion, one way or the other. Hopefully
you're biased.
I'm biased, and I know when I can see a good thing. I mean, it's you explained to me a little bit, but just give me a quick one. Give me, without the analyzer, judge sits down to watch the fight. How's it scored? What's the thought process?
Yeah, the way they teach you in like the ABC accredited class is you think of it as like a tug of war. So you start in the middle, obviously. The flag starts in the middle, and each fighter pulls that flag. If he's winning, it goes to red or blue the other side. That you think that in your head, or you have some people say they have a scales of justice where one comes up.
If you want to learn how to judge and use the analyzer
that goes this way,
please contact Patty on MMA Judge Analyzer.com.
That means you can't teach somebody else how to do it if there isn't any numerical value for those techniques that's making his flag move or his, you know what I mean? Like I told you, I worked a show when I first started up and was shadowing and trying to learn. I asked the guy, so when he took him down and passed his guard, how much credit did you give that? And he put up his hand and went like this. I'm like, that's a problem. We can't. that doesn't help me at all. You know what I mean? So that's
all I need is what's the score? Someone licks their finger. And goes, blue. No, and to be honest too, that does kind of, sometimes when you see a really bad score, is there any way to know for sure that something like that didn't happen? They missed something, and then they kind of just at the end went, well, I'm kind of there, if you don't have it. Now, of course, a mistake can be made while you're doing the analyzer tool well. It can go like whatever off, and then you don't have your score. But I would say, again, if you had 100 of them, that's not happening, and really does put accountability into it. And the stuff we've seen with the gambling scandals, first of all, which again, we're a gambling channel, but you're judging, but I want transparency. I want everything to be on the up and up, because we're here to, place wagers and win. We appreciate that the sports books offer us the opportunity to do that. They, of course, take a little extra on the cut, but we don't want it where there's unfair games that we're wagering on. No one wants that. And I think this is just such a good way to have that. And it really is kind of inevitable. But I do understand also the commission, government's like, if if it's not really, really, really broken, don't fix it. That's the government.
Yeah. And honestly, and you've seen it lately, like last year, the split decision, percentage for all the fights that went to decision, 24% last year. This year it's but the thing is, this year it's like 8.
Wow.
So I don't know what's happening. I don't know if they're like fans of the show. No, I'm just kidding. No. But something has happened from last year to take it from 24% to 8. I mean, that's ridiculous. Like there's been plenty of events where they don't even have a split decision in the whole event for the judges.
Yeah.
So I don't know
I'd be interesting to run numbers and go, have we maybe just had more fights in Vegas where we're using the same guys, the main dudes? I don't know. That'd be interesting to look at and see for sure. Yeah.
Like, I don't know what they changed, but I think they changed something. It might be, the new criteria, where they concrete said damage is what matters. But then, in the criteria, it gives the definition of damage, and you can ask 1,000 people and maybe one of them, and I'll be one of them. You know what I mean? But nobody, they hear damage and they think cuts and whatever. But I mean, if you're taking somebody's back and you don't hurt them, you should still give it.
Yeah. Credit, not damage. But
with this gambling situation, like if you have ever considered using the analyzer as a judge, like this should put you over the edge, because I don't have to worry about anything. Like if it wasn't for the analyzer, I could never do this stream with you.
Yeah,
like a professional judge on a betting stream, like that's unheard of. It just doesn't happen. But because I can show every thought, and I've been showing the world my every round judging for the last 2 years or a year and a half, whatever it's been, I don't have to worry about that. Like you can fraud check me all you want. I've been doing the same thing for the last 2 years, and I'll continue to do it.
I would be fascinated to see, like, when there's a big controversy on a decision and it's split, I don't want to see the fan score. I want to see 10 analyzers round by round. I want to see the graphs that we got up here. You check up here, we got these graphs. That's the zero line that you're talking about, but it's all shown.
We've talked about the public opinion of judging. Like, judging is a math equation.
Yeah.
And if you and I were trying to figure out a math equation, would we just take the next 10 people to drive through the McDonald's drive-through? No, we would want math experts.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just asking the public, that's not going to help anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a very perfect example too is, for me, because it's actually perfectly analogous, is card counting, because it's a 0 and it's a 1 and it's a -1. Think of it as blue corner, red corner, 0, and you're balancing up in there. Who do you want counting your cards? A math people, or do you want some random guy sitting them down who's going to be like, oh, I don't know what the count is. Also, do you want card counting to be, I think there were more kings and queens. I think there were some high cards in there. It's a hot day, or it's a I saw a bunch of 2s. You count it. You count it exactly. Even though you could ballpark it, it's like that's not how they do it though. Mm-hmm. If you want to be precise and you want to be accurate, you're recording everyone and you're showing your work in a way too where you know how it's going up and down. You're not guessing. You're not just giving a decision at the end and saying deck was hot, deck was cold, deck was neutral. This is how I got there. These cards came out, then these cards came out, then these cards came out, and I got to a +8.
The people that love me the most are guys like you. Like, everybody, like 80% of the people that follow me on X are gambling guys. And I started noticing that trend as I'm giving my, judging the whole time for the last year. But at the same time, those are the same guys that are the maddest when there's a controversial decision, because they're losing money. Yeah. So like, I almost doing our stream, it's like giving a little back, like, hey, come join the stream. I can you can make them some money. I can help. You know what I mean? Like,
and help me.
It's as simple as that.
Yep. And that's the other thing. It's all about just going and going. And it's just like in life though, if you're doing something wrong, you're losing, then you got to change course. You got to fix it. Gambling is just the one thing that doesn't really let you, you can't get away with it. You're not going to be able to hide. You're already at a huge disadvantage. So, you got to overcome that, then overcome the emotions, and then power through it. But the reason I was saying this is gamblers a lot of times are early on things. We were early on Bitcoin because it solved the problem. And they're generally people who like math and numbers and data. So when I saw this, like, I'm a numbers data nerd. That's why I like gambling, actually, is the math and money. Yeah. But yeah, I was looking at this thing and I was like, okay, this is totally different than anything I've seen. And also it can be used as a tool I watch it too. Like, even if I'm not betting, I watched Tyler's last night. Like, without betting, it can be just a companion of just put it on with the fights, because it's also a way to learn more. You can now kind of learn scoring a little bit yourself by watching, because you watch the move there and you go, okay, that's what that credit is. And now you're kind of training yourself, watching over and over again, kind of what that looks like. So it's a really good educational tool for fans as well. Yeah,
I know, like, watching Tyler with doing one and rising, it makes the fighting better, because you know what I mean? Like, watching a fight, you're not judging, you're just watching it. You're getting a beer out of the fridge, you're talking to your wife. So, but you can come right back and look at the screen and say, oh, he's up by that much, or he's down by this.
That's a great point.
Yeah, you don't have to see the whole fight. You can grab a beer and then come back. You might miss a big shot, but you'll see it on the graph.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they'll show it later, but yeah, you're right. I've done that a lot. Come back and go, oh, who's winning? Oh, I have no idea. And what's worse too is, like, who's winning, and then you're in the second round. Let's say you miss half of the first. Go to the second, and then you're like, oh, this guy's winning now, but did he win the first? I don't remember. So again, a tool, because there is no open scoring, which I'm fine with. For now,
there's actually, there's open scoring in Colorado and in Kansas, and I've reached out, but I haven't heard nothing. So anybody, tag them in this video. So, because I will come to Colorado and, show everybody everything I can do.
You want open scoring?
I mean, I think it would. So, like,
see, because I get open scoring already.
Right. Yes. Right.
So I like when only I and all my fellow gamblers have it.
Yeah. I said the argument is just the surprise at the end or whatever. But I'll tell you what. So not many people watch it, but it's called Waco Kickboxing. It's like World Kickboxing Organization, and what they do is they have numerical values for each fighter during the fight. Now, when one fighter's down, he'll look over, see how much he's down, or their judges will, or not the judges, the corners will, and say, hey, you need to go. And him fighting back, trying to overtake the other guy, it's so exciting. It's
real. Yeah.
Think about that last round. It's 2-2 in a championship fight. And that last round is going to be,
epic. Yeah. Because they know exactly how much they need to come
exactly
back.
Where they are. And there's an argument for that too. Because I guarantee you, like, if your coach is saying you're down by 3 and you know exactly what 3 is, you're going. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And they always argue on the other side, but it's a polar. It's the same argument but reverse. They say guy's up 2, he's going to coast. Well, the guy down 2 is also going to not coast. Who wins out? You know what I mean? And
you can start deducting points for timid. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
If he's running, hey, that's a point, and then he'll just catch up anyway. So, like, I don't know. I'm a proponent for open scoring, especially using my software that I created. But I'm completely biased.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking, give this thing 1 year. 1 year. And we'll be.
We've made big progress, like just in the last 6 months. I mean, me being able to, something I never thought would happen is me using it officially cage side on a fight. Like, I never thought that would happen. And
that's gone faster than you think. Sort of like what you originally thought. Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I contacted this. I don't want to say who I work for because sometimes
100%
an issue. But I contacted this guy after there's a controversial decision in a fight in his state. And I emailed him like, hey man, I got something that you should be interested in. Cause everybody was saying it was a controversial decision and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like I could show you exactly how it got there. Yep. So I told him that, and like I said, I was just using the analyzer for practice, for at home, whatever. He's like, okay, I'm bringing you in this date. You're gonna sit cage side with the analyzer. So I'm like, okay, he just wants me to practice and show him whatever. But then, like, I actually was the official the entire night.
Wow.
Like there wasn't a fight. Like judges come in and out.
Yeah, you can say it all the time.
I did every single fight, like 12, 13 fights in that night.
Yeah. That's light work for you. But they don't know that. They don't know that. That's the other thing. I feel like the analyzer is also like the boot camp of like judging. Because like if you're a live judge, you're there, every week, every 3 weeks, they might call you in for an event. You show up. You and Tyler over here just putting in work.
Working our craft, brother. And the numbers show. Yeah. The numbers show how much.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, just a matter of time. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Yeah, I think that whole system is gonna catch on eventually. It'll just be like we said. I think it's going to have to catch on in the private sector, the UFC, the One, the PFL. That'd be another
stream. The stream that we're doing is my Trojan horse.
Yeah.
As soon as you add money, people start talking about it.
Yeah.
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 And we get questions. Is this even legal? You know what I mean? People have asked you, is this even, and like, that's kind of like, I want it to be almost wrong and dangerous.
Dangerous.
Like yeah. You know what I mean? Because then people and the word will get out when, in all honesty, like I'm doing exactly what I've been doing for the last 2 years. And so are you.
The Nathaniel Wood one, that was a very interesting one, but it was close.
Yes,
that was one of those where it's just a probability thing where you had two split possible, 2 and 3. And it just so happened, very unlikely that all 3 are going to go 2 and 3 for Wood, but it's possible, and it happened. Yeah. And that shows as well. People go, well, it was a robbery, and I had Delgado, but I went, well,
two splits.
Yeah. What are you going to do? You still go, well, I'm winning that 80% of the time, but 80%, you're still losing 1 out of 5. So there it is.
What's weird is like, sometimes even while I'm judging with the analyzer, it's almost like somebody wins on vibes alone. Does that make sense? Like the feel of the fight seems like red is winning, and I'll look down and the score is like it's close. You know? And I don't know how that works, but
by the way, that's also the money spot. That's the money spot too, right there. Doesn't even have to be a split. Jamal Emmers was a plus 180 after round 1. He was up 6 points. It was a vibes thing. Everyone loved Hyder,
100%,
but
100%.
Yeah, so
betting on vibes is making you all the money in the world.
Well, it feels like vibes, but it's actually betting on uncertainty and discrepancies in probabilities. So it's not that we're going to be right on everyone. It's not like
but you're getting the odds that you don't have to be.
Exactly. You're getting an odds where you have to be right 33% of the time, and you're going, well, this is a 50-50 coin flip, or I'm 60-40, or I'm 70. And that is literally how gambling works. Like, if you've played poker, like if there's $10 million in a pot and the guy goes, here, I'll bet $5, and you're on a flush draw, and you have a 34% chance of hitting it, you go, oh, yes, please. I will. All I need to do is win this 1% of the time to break even. This is now an estimated value good play. And so it's the same thing with what we're doing. And we're playing off those misconceptions and those misperceptions from a lot of times public commentators. And then, like you said,
we love the commentators.
The vibes. We love
DC.
I'm going to send him a check. DC.
Send him a Christmas card or something. You know what I mean?
By the way, I need to create like a DC or a commentator horn because I have these. I have these puppies on. I have these on. So I'm noise canceled. I'm noise canceled. I'm like, okay, what's going on? I'm reading lips. I'm like back and forth here. So I got to have maybe we do like a little chat where everyone's like DC.
The Dumont fight last week.
I didn't even hear it.
They were screaming in the third round, she's got to go. She's got to go. It was 1-1 and she was winning the third. Like, what are you guys talking about that she has to go? Like,
round 2 was all vibes for Vieira because she got the takedown. That was why.
But she didn't do anything with it.
She didn't do anything with it. And she got the takedown, did nothing with it. And that's when DC loved DC. I mean, if you even grab a single leg, he's like, champion. Send him to Dagestan. No. But yeah, no, it's super, super interesting. My last question was going to be literally about, is this going to be geared more to the public or gamblers? But I think the answer is both, but it's probably going to start, as always,
I hope so.
With us gamblers. Because
like I said, you're my Trojan horse. You know what I mean? I'm going to get people talking and then hopefully get other judges to jump in. And honestly, like, I don't think the reception that I've had from the judges that are and the higher level judges that are in this game now, why would you use something that can show your mistakes? Like, why would you start over? You're already got the job.
Yep.
I think the analyzer is more like for the people that are contacting me on X, you know what I mean, saying that they want to start judging some rounds and then we make them part of the team. You prove your skills every week in, week out.
So officially, breaking news, if you want to become a judge, contact
at Judge Analyzer.
At Judge Analyzer.
We need one more to make 3. I think 3 judges would be sweet. The more the merrier, though. Like with the software that I made a couple months ago, like we can have an infinite amount of judges. It just averages everything, and you will be ranked on the screen by how accurate you are, and that is the average. So you will take there you go. You will take the guy that thinks so much that way, so much this way. The average is going to be the most accurate.
Yeah. And so we have 2 judges right now, but we'd obviously like to get up to a 3rd and beyond.
The more the merrier. The more the merrier.
Yep. Wisdom of crowds.
I mean, honestly, like I'm going to start working more live events. And if you're a director of an athletic commission, you can see exactly if a guy is. I mean, like that was one of another reasons that I started the whole thing is like if I'm applying or I'm reaching out to a commissioner and I'm like, I want a job. And he asks, well, how do I know that you're good? Like, what is it like? Do people just say, trust me, bro? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? So that's why a lot of times you have to know somebody in the commission.
Who you know. Yeah, which is like that's such a government thing. I mean, I guess that happens in the private sector as well, but in the end, it's going to be the best idea that wins out if this is something that, becomes an issue. Now, if it doesn't become an issue, maybe not, but I think just where things are going with computers and stuff like that too, they're not going to be able to get away with the tug of war method for forever. Especially if people in the private sector start analyzing and like you, I mean, look at you're not like some big company that works with the UFC as a affiliate. Anyone could have thought of this, but it was you who was just like, I had a passion for it. I wanted to figure it out, and you figured it out. Those types of things are gonna make it so it's like gonna be so obvious that the current method is just not gonna cut it. Now, what I'm hoping is we just blow this thing up, get so many people watching it who are finding value on our stream that at certain points, like, well, who is this? Why is everyone watching these guys? Then someone's going to go to the commission or to whoever, like, hey, what's this? These guys are like predicting everyone. And, then
I mean, the good thing is, and I won't drop any names, but the state commissioner of probably the top guy, the one that everybody knows, loves the analyzer. He told me that.
Wow.
So he's very busy with other stuff right now, but I believe that that's going to be an avenue in the future. Like he's going to not promote, but what's it called? Like you say, this is something we should use.
Endorse
yes,
it.
Endorse.
Yeah. Well, and then when that happens, so we're just setting ourselves up.
We're on our way.
We're on a very nice trajectory. Slow path. But a very good path, and we'll be solid. The Joe Rogan of judging. Well, that'd be if one day if Joe Rogan, God, that's what's going to happen, isn't it? Joe Rogan's going to see it. Joe Rogan's going to see this one day. And he's going to say, Who is that
You
guy?
know, VSP right now is tagging Joe Rogan in the
All right, if you would like to use the MMA Judge Analyzer tool and learn how to score fights, contact Patty on this website here. You can reach out via the help or the chat function to get started. That's another thing, too, is everything's going into this live betting now because that's where we're seeing the most value.
The clock is ticking, the stakes are high. The crowd's electric, the punches fly. In this dance of chance, I place my bet with a wink and a grin, no regrets just yet. We'll do it live. Oh, the thrill's divine. A twist, a turn on the razor's line with data to guide and luck to thrive. In the heat of the moment, we'll do it live. My heart's a drum, my mind's a race. Each jab, each hook, I'm feeling the chase. The software whispers, here's your edge. I double down, teeter on the ledge. We'll do it live. Oh, the thrill's divine. A twist, a turn on the razor's line with data to guide and luck to thrive. In the heat of the moment, we'll do it live. Slippery tease, a rhythm of chaos that'll bring you to your knees. One eye on the screen, the other on the fight, chasing that sweet, unpredictable bite. We'll do it live. Oh, the thrill's divine. A twist, a turn on the razor's line with data to guide and luck to thrive. In the heat of the moment, we'll do it live.
Monkey, come on, give us a monkey. Monkey, come on, monkey, monkey, monkey.